Well, for me, early childhood started at 3 months on the planet after birth, being left in a bootlegger's house. My mother left me there, and a lady that she knows by the name of Blanche Adams found me. She was never married, and she didn't have children of her own. So God kind of placed us together. She just made sure that I ate good. Sometimes we didn't have lights, sometimes we didn't have water, but she always found a way. She encouraged me to get involved with the things of God and the things of church. I called her mom. She was the only mother I knew. At age 6, she had a man stand there. He would play with me a little bit and, throw the ball and promise me stuff, bicycles. So I didn't think nothing of it. I was innocent. I didn't know no better. But one day he put his mouth on parts of my body that he wasn't supposed to. So he told me that if I told him about it, he would kill me. And when I told Blanche about it, my mama, she didn't do anything. It was no protection. I didn't know if it was for the money. Did she think I was lying? So one night, I had to go through his room to get to the kitchen. So I went to the kitchen to get some water, as quiet as I possibly could. And when I turned back around, he was standing in the doorway with his boxers on, telling me, give me a hug. I want to hold you. And I fought past him as best I could, and I went and woke her up and told her that he was trying to hug me. She put him out, told him he had to leave. So my first sexual encounter was with a guy. And I felt dirty, and I felt like it was my fault, and I never had any problems with my sexuality, but I wondered why. And I walked around with that for decades. That's inside of me, holding it. I started to hang around with the older group because my peers made fun of me too much. They were drinking and doing drugs. So I think I had beer when I was 9, and I was 10 when I first smoked marijuana. The same year I got saved was the same year I snorted cocaine for the first time at 12 years old. It gave me an outlet, and the pain and things that I was experiencing inside, it seemed like it numbed it some. I felt happy. It appeared that people were making money. They had nice things. I knew I was poor. So I made it my business to try to be the person that everybody needed to know in order to get what they needed to get. My mama, she died around 16, 17. I was on my own. I dropped out of school. I got another job, but I was also trying to sell drugs, marijuana and cocaine when I would get my hands on it. Recreation and fun times rapidly became a habit. And once the curse of addiction got hold of me, it held me for 30 plus years. It just evolved extremely quick, and it went from snorting cocaine to smoking crack. I got incarcerated when I was 28 years old. That was the first time. It was terrifying for me because I'd never been put in a cage, told when to get up, told when to sleep. I went back to what I knew, and I got my Bible. And I started to read again, and I started to pray again. I didn't want to do drugs in jail and get high, even though it was prevalent and it was right there. Every time I got out, it didn't take long before I fell back into the same lifestyle. I would always say, I ain't going back no more, this is my last time, but every time I got back involved with the drugs, every single time that God blessed me with good jobs, career-oriented jobs, I've been divorced twice, vehicles, material things, I went right back and lost everything. I chose to be outside. I chose to sleep in abandoned buildings and in people's houses that didn't have electricity or utilities. I chose to sleep in cars. I chose to just hang on the street and not go to sleep at all for 2 or 3 days. I was angry at God at times. Why this? Why my parents leave me? Why did she die when I was so young? Why don't I have a family? If you're a loving God, why? Couldn't get it, didn't understand. When you find yourself doing things outside of the law that you wasn't raised to do, and the little bit of dignity and character that's left starts to say, and you look around and you see you haven't done nothing with your life. You've wasted decades. When God gives you a moment of clarity, it just makes you think, is this it? Is this how it's gonna end? Was it too late for me to have a purpose and walk in something that was worthwhile? And God gave me a moment of clarity to say, you know what? There's something still in you if you trust me. So I finally got to the point of total surrender, total trust. And I spoke to God as if I'm speaking to you, and if you don't help me and heal me and deliver me, I'm gonna die. I called the Salvation Army a couple of days before. They told me to come in that day, did the intake. Said, God, I can't leave until you fix me. He let me know that this is it, that I'm gonna change you and you're gonna be all right. And it was like the most comforting words in my spirit that I had ever heard in my life. And he just started to minister to me. He let me know that I was his son. He let me know that what I went through was not to hurt me. He let me know that he heard me. He let me know he loved me. The Salvation Army is a 6-month program. Close to graduation, the opportunity to be a Salvation Army soldier became available. I was a soldier for about a year. And then they elected me as the Corps Sergeant Major of the Southampton Roads Croc, which is similar to being like a deacon or assistant pastor. Every day I wake up, God is involved in my life and helping me be involved with something he's doing in some capacity. I got an opportunity a couple of years ago to be in Homeland, which was a series on Showtime. And I wound up being a Secret Service agent guarding the President of the United States. I would tell people that nobody can take you from the crack house to the White House but Jesus. Because how do you go from guarding Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nuck Nuck to guarding the President of the United States on a major television program? I spoke at old folks' homes. I've been to Atlanta with the Salvation Army. So I've marched in the Grand Illumination Parade as a representative of Christ through the Salvation Army. And I don't have any biological children, but I got about 20-something kids that I mentored. I've been mentoring them for about 2.5 years now. I can't believe it. God is, man, he has to, what he done in my life. I can't believe it. When people used to talk about that experience and what God done, it can't be that real. It can't be that much, but it's real. It's true. And at 56, I didn't know it would be like that. I had no idea. I didn't think he loved me that much. And nobody could have wrote my story and told me that what has happened to me over these last 2 years would have happened. I mean, the places I've been and the people I've been in the company of, it's nothing short of amazing. And he still lets me know the best is yet to come.